So the other day I uploaded this picture onto Instagram and I had a ton of people request a tutorial on the look, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm actually going to start my eyeshadow with a liquid lipstick base. This one is Jeffree Star Cosmetics Berries on Ice, and I'm just taking that on a little eyeliner brush and mapping out the shape of my crease. Once I get that laid out where I want it, I'm going to take just a little crease brush and start blending that liquid lipstick upward. And I'm not going to worry too much about keeping this clean along the base of the crease because we're going to end up cleaning it up and covering it with shadow anyway later. So now that that's blended where I like it, I'm going to take my Morphe E36 palette and take those first two shades mixed together and just set along my brow bone so that when I blend shadows on top of it, they'll have a nice transition. Now I'm going to take this burgundy shade, which is going to be the main color I use, on a little crease brush and blend that right over the top of the liquid lipstick. So after blending for 5 years, I'm going to just take a different brush that's clean and use that to kind of buff the very edge of that burgundy shade out, if that makes sense. Please ignore my roots, they're so bad, but I swear I dyed it right after this. So now I'm going to take this shade mixed with a little white and I'm going to put that right along the top of the burgundy shade. This is my transition shade basically. I'm just adding it in afterwards, which I know is backwards, but that's just how I like to do things. Sorry. So now I'm going to take that super hot pink shade and I'm just going to apply that kind of along the crease. I felt like my shadow just needed to be a bit more vibrant, so I just added this on top and then used it to kind of blend everything together. So now I'm going to go back in with that burgundy shade and just keep on blending. Some people like to only use a shadow or two to get a good blend, but I'm a firm believer in the opposite and I just keep layering shadows until I'm happy with it, honestly. Oh, and then here's the exact moment that I look at myself and decide that I want a bit more depth in my look. So I'm going to cheat and take the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette and just add that dark burgundy shade right along the base. So once that darker shade's laid out, I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and just run that along the base of my crease, making sure everything is seamless. And once that's done, I'm going to take my favorite product to clean up a crease, which is Boing Concealer by Benefit, on a stiff synthetic brush. And I'm going to coat both sides of my brush and run it along the base of that line we created at the very beginning with the liquid lipstick. And I'm just gonna slightly pull back my eye here and clean up along the wing because we're gonna be leaving the space below the wing bare, whereas on the lid I'm just gonna end up covering it up anyway, so it doesn't have to be as clean. This is just some translucent powder I'm gonna use to set that concealer along the wing. And then I'm gonna take the same liquid lipstick and the same eyeliner brush and start mapping out my lid. And you'll see that I'm leaving a little bit of space between the crease and the lid. Just right on the outer edge, not all the way through the look. And oh yeah, right here I mess up my makeup and have to go fix my concealer. But once I do that, I'm gonna come back with a little flat liner brush and start blending that shape forward. Now that that's looking pretty good, I'm going to take the shade Queen Supreme by Jeffree Star Cosmetics and a little flat brush and just start patting that along my lid and making sure it's blending not only into that darker shade I just laid down, but also kind of fading once it gets to the front. Now that that's blended, we're gonna set all those liquid lipsticks with shadows. On the inner corner, I'm just taking the matte white shade. And then I'm gonna take that super hot pink shade, and that's what I'm gonna use to set the main part of my lid. And I'm gonna take that burgundy shade that we used mainly in the crease, just on the outer edge, and making sure all of that is blended. And then I decided that I didn't like the matte on the inner corner, so I added just a little bit of a metallic shade. This part looks really sketchy, but Jeffree Star's lipsticks are eye safe, so I'm putting that on my actual waterline and then using that burgundy shade from the Morphe palette right along my lower lashes. So then I'm just going to take my clean fluffy brush again and make sure everything's nice and blended underneath and that there isn't any fallout. Then I'm just going to take some black liner and do my upper lash line. And I actually did my winged liner off of camera because I have to get so close to my mirror to be able to get it right. So now I'm going to take some mascara and just coat my lashes. Now I'm just going to carefully put on my falsies, and that's it. This is the look. I'm going to take my clips out of my hair and try and get some shots of the look finished. I'm so bad at this, I couldn't stop laughing, so my apologies.